Let's go live. So
Webinar is now streaming live on YouTube.
starting. So I think we
Yippee-yi-yay, cow patty.
are live. Yep, we're live.
Live on YouTube.
I don't. Oh, hold on. Let me mute.
Cow patty. Yippee-yi-yay, cow patty. No.
Oh my gosh. Hold on, you guys.
I didn't know that was on there.
Wow.
Let me mute.
Do we sound like that?
Okay, somebody has to. Oh my gosh.
Sound like that?
Somebody has to mute their.
Oh, shit. Clint, take this and run away with it.
Holy crap.
Clint, the phone.
Kay, do you have
All right.
YouTube up? Is it on mute?
Do I have? No, I don't have YouTube up. I have Facebook up.
Kay, do you have YouTube? Yeah, I don't have YouTube up either. Is it on mute?
Zoom's on. I have.
Oh my God.
No,
Why are we echoing?
Is it better now?
Yeah, I
Oh
don't
dear.
have
I think, did I fall off?
No.
No, you're there.
I can't find it now. I think I closed it.
You're still here.
I don't know what's going on.
Oh my God. I can't find it now. I think I closed it.
All right. Well.
Deja
Oh my gosh. There sounds like there's 150 of us in here.
I know, right?
And they're all mocking us. Stop making fun of us, you guys. Stop it.
Okay. We need to figure this out.
And they're all mocking us.
Awesome. I hope everybody enjoy this. Have a laugh. Relax.
I really don't have. I don't have YouTube.
Negative things that happened today, and enjoy.
Right.
Enjoy the ride.
Here, let me pull up YouTube and mute it.
Okay, I turned off
Did that work?
my speaker because I don't know if it's me. I'm gonna use my headphones.
I don't know. It sounds better now.
Well, I pulled up YouTube and muted it. So I turned it.
Hold on one second.
I don't.
Can't hear.
Now I don't have Zoom. I'm watching us on YouTube. And my son's picture isn't on there.
Really?
Yeah.
Hello. Is it better?
What is going on? Yeah, the sound is better.
Oh,
it's working though. It's good.
Sorry,
Hi, Scratch.
Oh man. Hold on one second, you guys. I don't see Kay on the YouTube.
Yeah, I think I closed it out, but somehow I'm still here, so let's run with it.
Can they hear you?
I don't know.
Can you guys hear Kay? Oh my God.
See, has anyone said anything?
No, I'm waiting.
Okay.
Ransom, can you hear me?
Oh, okay, they're saying yes. Okay, good.
Who said hi, Scratch? That was me. That was me, Scratch.
That was Kay.
All right, so let's try this again. Hello, everyone. I hope everyone had a laugh and enjoyed the ride with us. I have here Niz with the weekly show that we do together, and we have a guest today, and her name is Kay. Kay. So welcome to the show, Kay, and thank you for being here and talking to us and having a blast.
Sure am. Thanks for having me, guys.
No problem. I do want to say hi to the people in the chat. Scratch, Ransom, Joe, Davey, Flat Earth, Agna. Is that? I don't know if I said it right. The hot retarded chick, Milky, Debbie, Deborah, Debbie, Joe. I don't know if I said that already. All right. Well, everybody, welcome.
Hi, guys. Bunch of awesome people in the chat.
Yeah. Thanks for bearing with us, and I can't believe I should have known better about the speaker.
It happens. So would you like for me to go?
Yes.
Okay. So we both Anna and I have realized that we see Kay in a lot of our circles, and then we ended up becoming better friends and talking, and a lot of the ideas that we exchange back and forth are very similar. She's very easy to talk to. She sees things on a similar, in a similar way that we do. So we thought, why not? We're gonna talk about some awesome stuff today. So today we thought we would talk about the different forms of grounding and how you can personalize it, what you can do with grounding. We wanted to touch a little bit on altars, and we'll explain that more when we get to it. And we also would like to talk about opening up our gifts. So yeah, let's Kay, do you want to talk about what you do to ground yourself?
Well,
before we talk about that, why we don't explain what's grounding and why it's important to do the grounding.
Oh, very good, Anna. I love how you think. And that's why this is your channel.
So do you want to elaborate on that?
Oh, yes. So, okay. The reason why I really started to focus on grounding is because a lot of people told me that I needed to learn how to ground myself because as an empath, and I realize more and more that I think all of us are empaths anyways.
I do too.
To some degree at least. But
and I think we're all intuitive.
We all are. Yes. Okay. Because some people say that they don't think that they are, and deep in my down in my mind, I think, yes, you are. We all are. But okay. So yes, thank you for confirming that. But we have to be able to shut down the emotions of people around us, or the energies of the people around us, and be able to ground ourselves to get back on solid ground to some degree, get yourself on something that's concrete. So a lot of people ground themselves by imagining, connecting to Gaia, to Mother Earth, roots coming out of their feet, and just really getting down into the earth and getting a good hold of yourself. Now that's the kind of grounding that I typically like to do when I'm going to be working with my chakras, But there's other forms of grounding that people do as well. So was that a good enough explanation?
Yeah,
that was pretty good.
Of grounding?
Okay. Well, you know how you oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, Kay. Go ahead.
Well, you know how when you get to feeling like your insides are all jittery and you're like flighty, can't really focus, you have a hard time having a conversation with people. Let's see, what else? Oh, I know I need to go get my feet in the grass. Like a nervous, jittery feeling on your insides, like.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, like. I don't know how to explain it, but it's almost like anxiety type of thing. But all I do is just run out and normally just take my shoes off and go for a walk in the grass, or you can stick your feet in like some water, like a creek or a river, or probably even a lake or a pond. I like flowing water better. I would stay away from the drainage ditches, y'all. But that anything that connects you to the earth, that's grounding.
Yeah.
That's the ground. So you're grounding.
Yeah. Yeah. The first time I heard about grounding was when somebody just like you told me that I need to do some grounding, and I did some research, and like the very first thing I heard was kind of like what you were saying, is to like what you do with your when you're working with your chakras.
Mm-hmm.
To imagine, like roots coming out of your feet and going all the way deep down to the earth, and but I tried that and that didn't work for me. Like that didn't do anything. And I think it's kind of cool to talk about these things because not what one person, you know, for if one person work, if something works for one person, that doesn't mean it's gonna work for everybody.
Right.
So what I use crystals. I use black crystals because they're for grounding, especially like arrowheads. They're protective and grounding, and I love them. Like I love crystals, and I felt right at home when the first time I used them to ground. So yeah.
Is there a ritual or something that you do for your grounding, or do you just hold on to them?
When I'm meditate or when I want to do some journaling or any of those things, I just set them around me, and I might hold one in my hand just at the beginning to start the grounding to connect, and then either I just hold it or I just set it like close to me, like by my head or around me, or I will make a grid, a crystal grid. So that's what I do. I do want to. I want to try what Kay does, but I live in an apartment place, and like I'm pretty sure people will think I'm crazy. They just see this chick just walking. No, but
and all the dog poo.
Yeah, no, and no, I'm good. But I don't like grass for some reason. Like the feeling, the texture, and the bugs. I don't think I will be able to ground myself because I'll be too in my head.
Yeah, it makes a lot of people itch.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So, what you do, Niz, other than when you work with your chakras? What worked for you? What did you find that it worked for you?
Okay, so what I'm finding now is if I'm in a situation where I'm not working with my chakras, or like usually I'll ground myself before I do my runes and stuff like that. But when it comes to everyday stuff, and then trying to imagine grounding myself or even going outside and grounding myself, it doesn't really resonate with me. It doesn't really help. And I think it's because something doesn't feel right, and you have to believe in something for it to work for you. And then, so I don't end up believing in it. And I think that's something that I may get to with time, but for right now, what ends up grounding me now is, okay, so here is an example of how I can allow people to drain my energy and how it can affect me, and then what it is that I decided I need to do to ground myself. So I kind of wrote something down, so I'll read a little bit. So I have a tendency to take responsibility for things that I'm not responsible for. I've spent a lifetime pleasing others because whenever they disliked me, it affected my sense of self-worth. So of course, I was always doing everything that I could, bend over backwards to please other people. So then when they told me bad things about myself, or if I had heard, that they had said bad things to other people, then rather than me just saying, no, that's not me, that's not who I am, they have a misconception of me, I would end up believing that the things that they were saying about me was actually true. And in turn, what that did, or what that has done to me, is I end up judging myself, I end up suffering, I end up letting the other people's energy drain me and affect me, because I'm allowing what they're saying to be true about me, when deep, deep down, I know darn well it's not true. So the way that I have to like lately, especially really ground myself, is be like, no, they're wrong, Renee. You are okay. You're fine. You did everything just right. And I have to go back through, like, I did it out of, I did it with my heart, so how can, if someone doesn't like it, then they didn't deserve it, or if someone doesn't like me for what I've done, then they just don't appreciate
that's not your fault.
I am. Stuff like that is what I've been doing lately to really ground myself, to block other people from being the energy vampires, because once I allow that in, then it becomes a monster.
Game.
So, yeah.
I want to mention something that I saw a comment. That the reason why, like when I do the journaling or meditating, to me, it's important to do the grounding because you're out there, you know, and you need to come back to earth, to where we're from, like bring whatever message or whatever image or whatever back to earth, so you're not staying out there, and come back here. So yeah, sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
So what do you think, Kay, about all this that Renee or Niz was saying?
I'll go by either.
I think both of you strike me as very balanced. You know, that's a part of being grounded is your balance. You know, you have to. Honestly, I mean, you're balanced.
Yeah, and I was gonna say something to Niz, because when you were talking, my mom told me before, and like, of course, when you're young, you don't get it, but eventually you're like, oh, that's what that meant.
Oh, makes sense now.
Yeah, she always said to me that, you know, not everybody is gonna like you, and if they like you or not, it's none of your damn business. Like, you know, that's their choice. That's their. You're not in charge of that. You know, you are in charge of your own emotions. So, you know, you need to do whatever you need to do to protect yourself, speak from the heart. And if that person is gonna not take it the right way, then that's not your problem. You know, as long as you speak from the heart and feel good that you didn't do anything to provoke or to make it, you know.
Yeah.
So
well, and you know, this is a great transition as far as you know, going into talking about how we need to establish our own sense of grounding and our personal belief system about ourselves before we go any further into this journey. Because like we were talking about, as we wake up and try to become more genuine and really try to work on ourselves, we're getting a lot of negative reactions from people in general. And do you guys want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, you can even get attacked. I have been attacked.
Really? Kate?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I got called a psychic vampire.
Oh wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Sure did. First time in 54 years that's ever happened to me. I have people come to me for advice, and you know,
there's always a first for something, right?
It like shook me to the core. I was like, oh my God, really? Because in the circles I travel, that's like the worst thing you can probably say about somebody, you know? It's worse.
Yeah, that's not good.
That is, and here's what frustrates me about when people say that others are psychic vampires, or other people are affecting my life because they don't like me. So they're, you know, sending me all of this bad energy. They're making bad things happen around me. Nobody makes bad shit happen around you. You either allow it or you don't.
Yeah.
You know, you either allow, and it's not like that person is actually sucking, you know, psychic energy from you. You're draining your own psychic energy because you're stressing about this person and freaking out about them. The other person has no idea what the fuck's going on.
Exactly.
Or feeling insecure from them.
Or threatened.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you guys, the way I think about it, I don't know, and I'm curious to know you guys' opinion. I feel like it has to do a lot with the vibration level where you're at. Because if somebody's in a very, very, very low and you're here, they're not gonna blend well. That is gonna make the person with the lower vibration like attacked or lash out, or, you know.
They'll find you really annoying.
Yeah.
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 And they'll get pissed off.
Yeah. And instead of
try to lower yours.
And instead of making their own work, like, why am I feeling this way towards that person? It's easier to blame the other person.
Yeah.
Oh, it's them. Because it's easy. You don't have to do the work. It's an easy way out.
It is.
And nothing good comes out of taking the easy way out. Because doing the hard work, it sucks sometimes. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It's painful and it's a lot of overcoming things. But once you're in the other side, you're like, oh, I'm glad I did it.
And stronger for it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Every pile of coals you walk through, when you come out the other side, you're stronger.
Yeah. And I was gonna say everything that you were just saying, it goes back to
I said, and your feet hurt.
I bet.
Yeah.
They feel like they're on fire.
Yeah. Ow.
You get calluses?
Ow, ow,
That's
ow,
what makes
ow,
you
ow, ow,
stronger.
ow, ow.
It's the
Okay,
calluses
it's
that
so
make you
funny.
stronger.
Oh, you
my
almost did it, didn't you, Niz?
I had
Yeah.
to.
I forgot what I was gonna say now.
Oh, I'm so
No,
sorry.
it's okay. No, it's okay. No
No, you were
problem.
talking about like the vibrations being different and how
Yeah.
people react
No,
to
it
that.
wasn't that. It was back to
I'm just kidding.
allowing that,
Mm,
about being in charge of everything belonging to you, like your emotions, your feelings, your vibration, you are
yeah.
in charge of all of those. Not everybody else, but you.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at the
Absolutely.
chat.
What? Is the chat funny?
No, I don't know. It said Z Golden report said I blame the Russians, Anna.
Did he blame the Russians?
Yes. Fucking Russians.
Z! What's up, Z?
Russian gremlins.
Right? Russian hackers.
So
Okay.
I forgot where can we continue with this.
Okay. Oh, no. You're good. So that is where we're not grounding ourselves, is when we're in that belief system that other people actually have that kind of power over us. And it's just like what I was talking about, where I allowed other people to have power over how I judge myself. It's about not allowing other people or other energies to have control over you, realizing the power of our manifestation and how we have a lot more power than we give ourselves credit for.
Yeah.
Exactly. And we just don't know how to use it yet.
Yeah, exactly.
And we don't, that's why we've been doing all these experiments and stuff.
Yes. Okay. So yeah.
Because we ain't going to know unless we experiment. And we need the feedback. You got, that's crucial. Feedback is crucial.
Yeah.
Yes.
You never know until you try.
Exactly.
And sometimes you have to fail more than once to pick up yourself and be like, oh, yeah.
Absolutely. And with the way society is in the denser vibration, where we're stuck in our left brain, where we're analyzing and focusing on the data and the statistics, and we're focusing too much on all of that stuff, that it gets everyone further away from believing in the fact that we actually have a soul and a spirit, and that there is a such thing as ether. Yet people can believe that there's a Wi-Fi connection, this imaginary connection that you can just click onto on your computer, and it's connected to the internet. We don't see it, but we see confirmation on our phones, and we see confirmations on our computer that it's connected. So we believe that it's real, yet we don't believe, or in general, people don't believe that energies can connect to each other, that we can actually communicate with each other, that there's actually an information superhighway that we can hop onto. But everyone, okay, so we stay in this lower vibration, people start vibrating a little higher, and naturally, the natural egotistical reaction that we all live by is to pull those people down, pull them down to our level. They can't be up there. We need to pull them down to our level so that we feel better about what we're doing, so that we feel better about ourselves, so that we feel normal, so that we don't feel challenged. Because that's another thing, like what Kay mentioned earlier, people feel like they're being challenged too, just based off of your vibration.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that has to do a lot, because even from when you're little, you don't think with your ego mind. But yet when you're a child, all through your life, the society suppress that and tells you not to use your heart, your instincts, think with your ego mind. Everything is ego, 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 ego. So we feed that. We keep feeding that. And the other just, stays behind. And here we're adults, and then we have to figure all this out.
Yeah.
When we're supposed to be not feeding the ego. So
well, our true mind is our heart, right? Everyone's always saying, we got to get to the heart of the matter. We got to get to the heart of this. The heart is the core of everything.
Yeah.
And when I had mentioned watching that Nature Boy thing, but this is also something that's public knowledge, that when a fetus begins, the first organ that starts to form is the heart, and the rest of the
right.
baby forms from that. So our first brain, our first organ, our first sense of intelligence is our heart. So that's our heart. And then we go into where we start analyzing things, and we start shutting things down to a lower vibration, because we're on the fight or flight all the time. We're always on the defense, and we get ourselves stuck into this lower vibration.
Yeah, Deborah Talker said, it's hard to not feed the ego even when we try not to.
Ain't that the truth? Sometimes I can't tell if it's my ego or my heart, to be honest. Because what?
Sorry.
Kay?
No, go ahead, Kay.
Something else about the heart is the energy that it puts out. It goes way out, you guys, and all the way around us. Each individual person, much further than what the energy of the brain puts out. It's like there's like no the heart is like major. I was watching a Wayne Dyer video one time. I don't know if you guys heard of Dr. Wayne Dyer. He is like a philosopher type of guy, but anyway, he said that they done some research using checking the heart, how the heart energy around the person, and they were measuring it, and they had a guy go up to a homeless person and give him like a cheeseburger or something, and the energy from the guy giving, there was no difference between the energy level that was coming from the guy who was giving the cheeseburger versus the guy who was getting the cheeseburger. And it also affected each and every person around who witnessed it, who watched this guy give this homeless guy a cheeseburger. Wow. Isn't that cool?
That is the coolest. That gave me goosebumps.
That's our heart energy, and it's massive.
Oh man, it's powerful.
Yeah.
And speaking of that heart energy too, something that I realized is that the only way that I am going to get better at my gifts, because maybe we should start talking about this stuff too, since I'm transitioning into it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Is that okay? So you guys know that I've been studying the runes, and I've been studying the Dreams of Gaia tarot deck, and I've been wanting to do them just for myself. And then recently, Anna, when you added me to that group where we could practice.
Yeah, the Jen is lifting the veil. Jen, the guest that I had, one of the first guests that I had on my channel, Jen Crockett, she made that group. Yeah.
It's a great group, but you do like these like lessons. Like earlier, I tried to do this remote viewing skill thing. I tried it so hard, and I even commented, I was like, I can't seem to do this because I know that my imagination is implanting things in my head, and I know I'm not actually legitimately remote viewing. You know what I mean? It didn't feel right. And then when she posted the picture, I saw that all the images that I saw in my head were not correct.
Oh, they're not?
No, the images that I saw, it was a bridge, and I saw different shit. So I even knew at the time when I was trying to do it that I wasn't doing something right. But with all of those other exercises, we're getting better at it, and then you can try free readings on people. You say like, I'm an apprentice, and then blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So as I've been doing that, I've noticed that more of my intuitive abilities have been unlocking. And then I realized, wow, okay, so I'm supposed to be doing this for other people and with other people to be able to hone my gifts. I just thought that they were going to come with me studying and me studying it on myself. But I realized the more that I'm interacting and actually sharing that love with other people that it's making me more tune in more. It's making me more powerful. The runes have been calling me, you guys. The runes are like, we're ready to do readings.
And I was gonna say, was it before Christmas? Like, wait, like maybe around Thanksgiving. When did I ask you for a reading? Remember?
Oh, that was around Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Yeah. And you did pretty well. I was very surprised. And I remember telling you that you should do it. And you were like, no, I'm not sure. But I'm happy that you're feeling the calling and you're actually going with the flow. You're not
keeping it back.
Yes. So that's gonna be coming up, you guys. Stay tuned.
Right. And I have to thank you, Anna, for that, though, because it was when you had Jen Crockett on, and then when you had me do the reading, and then you had me join the group, was when I was like, wow, this is right. I am in the right place. This is right. So thank you.
No problem. And I think it's kind of funny how one thing leads to another, and it starts on the, or how do you call it? Unraveling. Yes, that's a word.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Kay?
I got a cool rune story to tell you.
Tell us.
Okay, whenever I moved to Hannibal in 01, right before 9/11 happened, actually. Anyway, I went to this little esoteric shop here in town, and when we went in, first time I ever met this lady too, and we're still friends today. She sells my driftwood sticks that I make, but anyway, I went in there and I saw these little things behind the glass counter, and I said, what are those things? And she said, oh, those are runes. And she picked them up and scooped them into the bag, and she said, here, pull one, pick one out. So I pulled one out, and she goes, oh, look, you got a K. And I was like, oh my God.
Wow.
So I bought those. Yeah. Still got them. It looks like a less than sign or greater than sign. You know that one?
Oh yeah, that's Kanaz.
Yeah, that's a K.
Yep.
She goes, oh, you got the K. And then I told her, that's my name. She goes, you're kidding.
Do you know what that rune means, Kay?
Not anymore. I haven't played with them in a lot.
I'm curious now. Now you have to tell us.
Oh my gosh, that is the fire, the passion, the spark. Wow. It is what combined with antimatter to create our universe.
Wow.
It is the force behind what created our universe.
Holy Toledo.
Wow. Cool. I never heard about the runes before, ever. So I didn't know when you were saying about that. I was like, what is that? And then you explained what were they, and I think those are really cool.
I never heard of them until it was the day before this eclipse, the day before August 21st.
Oh, wow.
I was staying with my mom and my sister, and my mom had gotten runes years ago, but she never studied them. And I guess she gave them to my sister Rachel. My sister Rachel, she like sleeps with them and stuff, but she hadn't really done readings with them. And she had them sitting out when I was over there, and I was like, whoa, what are these? And I just felt so much energy coming from my hands and to them. And I just felt like this, like my heart, like love, like this intense passion. And I was like, can we play them? Can we play them, please? And I had never done tarot or anything like that before then. And when she did them and she had me pick the card, I seriously felt the connection from up here come through my fingertips, and it took me right to the cards. Wow. And it's like,
that's cool.
Anyways, ever since then is when I started studying the runes. So
that's very cool. Then you said your mom also had them?
Yeah, she had them and bought them and kept them, and then she just ended up giving them to my sister Rachel. Mm-hmm. So, and then Rachel doesn't really, she knows about them, but she doesn't study that. She didn't go crazy on them as much as I do. I get obsessive when I'm really passionate about something. So
Well, that's a good
That's
thing.
good. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm very passionate to things that, you know,
Yeah, right? I think
stand
that's
for.
my Rahu in the third house or something.
Something like that. Here, I'm gonna check the chat and see what they're saying.
Okay, cool.
Oh wait, I closed it and now it's behind.
So,
Go ahead.
Your
Yes.
gifts.
Oh yeah, the gifts part.
What about you, Kay? You do readings, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or-
Yeah, I do tarot readings. Yeah.
What tarot deck do you use?
Well,
Do you have different ones or you just use certain one
my
for?
my favorite ones they're called the Witch's Tarot.
Oh, I've
Those are
seen
my
those.
favorite.
Yeah.
And I love the artwork on them. They fall right in with the Rider Waite deck too, which is what I learned with. So, but I
okay.
don't know. Well, I saw these on Amazon, and I was just like, wow, these are so cool.
Yeah.
And so I use those for most of the time. And then I've got several Oracle decks too, like you guys with the Oracle decks. But I, I can't say enough about this one deck. For anybody who reads tarot knows it is dang near impossible to do a reading for yourself. You can't hardly do it because you'll just keep pulling cards until you get the one you want, you know. Well, this ain't what I wanted to see, so you know. But anyway, I got this. I can't say enough about this one deck. It's called the oh crap, what's it called?
It's a fairy deck or something.
Yeah, it's a fairy. Shoot, where's the box? I just saw it. Here it is.
Agna, what kind of crystal you're talking about?
The Fairies Oracle, and you bond with this deck. It's unreal, and it's the only. I mean, I don't even use this deck for anybody else. I just use it for myself.
That's cool.
And it's not a kind deck at all. It'll tell you what you need to know, not what you want to know. You know, you're never gonna hear what you want to hear, or read what you want to read, whatever. You know.
Yeah.
Brutally honest.
Yeah, it's brutal. It is. But they're kind of I kid you not. When the night I got them, I put them because I have the tarot. I always kept my tarot decks in a little wooden box.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when the fairy deck came, I put them in the little wooden box with the other decks, you know, so have company, and they would be, you know, have somebody to talk to. They can relate.
They can be friends.
Yeah, and I put this deck in there with the others, and closed the little lid on it and everything. And then the next morning, I'm sitting at my computer, and my desk that I read where I lay out my cards on is right at my back, and I kept hearing this really light knock, 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 and I was like, "What is that?" So I got up and looked out the windows. There's nothing at the windows, and I sat back down and knock, knock, knock. I was like, "What is that?" So I went out on the back porch. Nothing out there. I thought maybe it's a woodpecker, you know, on the post or something. But no, there was nothing. So I come back in and I sat down and knock, knock, knock. And I got this flash in my head of this little fairy who's inside the box knocking. So I was like, really? Could it be? I was like, really? No. But anyways, I got up and I took the deck out of the box, never put them back in there, and I've never heard that knock again.
Wow. So they didn't like the box.
I don't think they like the box.
Yeah, that was a no-no.
Yeah, I brought these over in my hand to my new apartment.
Nice.
I didn't even put them in a cardboard box. I just carried them.
Nice. They prefer it that way.
Yeah, it's a cool deck. Cause anybody who's reading tarot that you know wants to be able to read for themselves, I would say get that deck. It's cool.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What is it called again? The Fairy
Oracle.
Fairy oracle.
Fairies oracle.
You know, while we are kind of on this subject, maybe perhaps you and Anna should talk about your bird experiences.
Oh wow.
Oh Lord.
You guys
Well,
both have some really cool bird experiences.
I told you about all of them, and I told Ransom about a couple of them,
Well,
and
and you
so he
haven't told me any,
blew his
so
mind.
spill it out.
Oh my gosh, they're so long though.
Well,
All right.
just pick a few and just or one that really stuck out to you the most. I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you this one because it's pretty trippy, I thought. Okay, so my vision for my life, what I really, really want, and what I've been, my power showers, I focus on, um, I want to have a farm where I can garden and some fresh water nearby and some woods to walk in and enough abundance that I can build cabins for other like-minded people if they
Oh,
want to
that's
come
cool.
stay too, and
That's a
live out
great
there.
idea.
So that's my power shower, right? So I just had my power shower, and I was getting out of the shower and I felt this like a shift. I almost fell over. It was like a I don't know how to explain it. It was like I don't know. Anyway, I got out of the shower, I got dressed, and I went down and checked the mail. And there was in my mailbox was a burpee seed catalog, and I was like, that's weird. But I thought, because a couple of months before I'd been on the burpee catalog
Sorry,
website.
what's burpee? What is that?
It's seeds,
Seeds.
seeds.
Oh,
And I'd been on there,
oh,
just I was, lollygagging and dreaming, daydreaming, and making a list and checking it twice and all that kind of stuff. And I thought, well, they probably just stole my info and sent me a catalog or whatever. So I didn't think too much of it. I just come up the stairs and I showed it to Clint on my way by. As my son, and he knows about the power showers. I'm always in there. I'm talking to the water, to the earth, to the air. I'm talking. I'm working it. Anyway, so I walked past Clint and I was like, "Look what came in the mail." He's like, "Oh, cool, Mom." So I come on back to my room and tossed the catalog on the bed. Sat down at my computer and was checking my email and Facebook, and I heard this thud at the window, and I'm like, "What the heck?" So I got up and I looked, and there's a pigeon on my windowsill, outside the window, and it's like freaked out looking, man. It's like, them little white, wiry, bristly looking feathers that stick out between the regular feathers when they're all
yeah,
freaked out.
yeah.
This bird looked like it'd been through a hurricane. It was
Aw,
freaked out and it was all shaking and
sweetheart.
everything. And, they got wide eyes anyways, but I mean, it looked freaked. And I was like, do I see a pigeon? Maybe I see it. So I called Clint back to my room. I was like, do you see anything at the window? He said, yeah, Mom, it's a pigeon. Don't let that thing in here. They're like flying rats. And I'm like, well, I wasn't gonna let it in or anything, but my God, look at it. It looks freaked out. And he's like, yeah, it
Yeah.
does. So anyway, so I go back to my computer and I Google pigeons. What does a pigeon mean at the window? And it comes up. It said it's a good omen for farmers.
Oh
Holy
wow.
cow! Yeah. So then, and that this bird walked back and forth on the windowsill for like 20 minutes, at least 20 minutes, and it would not leave. It was almost like it was not being allowed to leave, like it wanted to leave, but something was keeping it from leaving. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
And so after it left, I was like, So I picked up the burpee seed catalog, and the label on it was, and I live in Hannibal, Missouri, and the label on this, and it hadn't been forwarded to my address or anything. The label on the thing was for Mary Ann Miller, who lives on Home Street in Palmyra, Missouri. That's 12 miles north of me. And I live on a little crappy little street in Hannibal, and I have an apartment box. I mean, I'm in an apartment. So how did this
Right.
how did this catalog wind up in my mailbox? There's no forwarding, nothing. Got somebody else's, some other lady's. It's not. It doesn't even have the same zip code. You
Wow.
know, it was trippy. but yeah, and then the next morning, at 7:30 in the morning, I got a phone call, and my miserable ex-husband's dad died, and
Oh
my
wow.
oldest boy was calling to say, Dad's, grandpa died.
Wow.
So, so that was pretty crazy too, because a bird at the window. A lot of times people think that's, and birds are messengers too. They're known to
I'm
be
learning
messengers.
that.
Yeah.
I'm learning that. I have a question though. Do you feel like the bird will not leave until you actually acknowledge it and you like, yeah, okay, I see you. Like, all right. Or
Well,
no.
I don't
Is
know, because I was
well,
definitely acknowledging it, and I called my son back here. I mean, it was still
well,
there for
not
like.
only in that situation, but other times when you had that bird's experience. Like when they're trying to get your attention or you know what I mean?
It could be. There was
Well, the
there
reason
was
why I ask is because like not only birds do that to me, like they act really strange around me, and like I said, not only birds but also bugs. And I don't like before I started in this spiritual path or whatever you want to call it. Like I don't do bugs. Like I never been stung by a bee or a wasp, and I'm planning to dying without being stung. So like I don't do bugs. Like no, no, thank you. And I had different kind of bugs like come up to me and like
Are you thinking
act.
about the stink bug, Niz? Go ahead, Anna. Sorry.
um, but no, that's what I was asking because I feel like once I acknowledge them and I'm like, okay, I see you. Like, okay, you can go now. Or if I ask, okay, do you have a message or something, then that's when they will leave or whatever. So
Oh,
have you ever thought about like that?
I
I
never
mean,
really thought about it. I didn't even, honest to goodness, I didn't really even put that,
yeah.
like, what's your message? But I did think, what does this mean? And because I went to Google, I Googled it. Why is this pigeon on my windowsill?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was pretty trippy.
Yeah, I had different birds experiences too. Let me think. I guess I can say, and it's kind of hard because now I know that they're trying to get my attention, or it's kind of like an omen, or I'm still learning all these different signs and what that sign means to me because it means something different to everybody. So a few weeks ago, I forgot what it was, the first one. Oh yeah, it's cold. It's been cold here in Houston, and I had a hummingbird. When I opened the door of my front door to take my dog out, a hummingbird just flew like right in front of me, and then it took off. And I was like, "Whoa, what is that?" And then the same day, when I was parked in the driveway, uh, I was just waiting on the driveway, and then out of the blues, this blue jay just comes to my window, and like he's not trying to tap it or anything, but he's just like looking at me like, "Hey, what's up? What you doing?" And then like it scared me because I'm just sitting, minding my own business, and then I see like something coming, and I look, and it was a blue jay, and it just flew for a little bit. It went away, and then it came back. I was like, "Okay, I see you. I see you. I got it." But I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what that is because I do have omens have happened to me where I see something obvious and then next thing I get news about something, and I the last time that happened to me, it was a blackbird. I can't tell if it was a raven or a crow, and that day that the crow or the bird like was trying to get my attention, I got good news about something personal. So I researched it actually. What does that mean? Like crows or ravens, and the internet or whatever it said that um, when you see a raven or a crow, that means you're gonna get something is gonna impact your life directly, not in a good or bad, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's just like a warning sign that something is gonna affect you directly. So I got that one. But yeah, I'm still working on learning about all the different signs and omens and what that means. And so, yeah.
There's a lot more to this whole bird thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Right? Because, okay, I don't know if you guys heard this through Jonathan Adamhans. He talks about how, especially with birds or animals that have smaller brains, since their brains are smaller, it's harder for their brains to be affected by these frequencies or by outside influences that can manipulate them, like as what happens with us. So they are able to be connected to the love of the creator, and you know how love is the highest form of intelligence, and it's spontaneous and it knows what to do. It does that by working through these animals to show us messages and to help guide us, pretty much.
That's awesome.
And the other day, guys, I told both of you guys about this. It's official. I was a pirate in a past life.
Yes, it's been confirmed.
It has been confirmed. I was a pirate because Charlie, you guys met Charlie. She's a sunburst conure, but she can also be considered a parrot. And anyways, the other night I was able to, like, I felt I don't know how to explain how this connection is, but it's like this really strong, I just feel something really powerful in my head, right? And then I was looking at Charlie, and she turned around and she acknowledged me. I asked her, I said, will you connect with me, like in my head? And I felt like she did, because the what I felt here got more intense, but I felt energy coming to me. And I felt this exchange of energy between the two of us, and her feathers ended up lifting out, and she looked like she was going to start hissing at me, or like being really pissed at me. And I was like, I'm sorry. And then I stopped, right? And then I kept trying to do it to see if I could do it, to see if it was legit, and it kept happening.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So that just goes to show we can, like, legit connect with these things. She's not a thing, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I thought you were gonna say that when you were trying to get the connection again, that it wasn't working, because that happens to me when I get a vision or something specific that I'm focusing on, like really trying really hard, I block myself, and that never happens. So I think that's cool that you were able to actually connect again and again.
I think it's because she understood too what was going on, and she was joining in on it with me, because I couldn't connect with her like that when she didn't acknowledge me, or even when she, like, you know, when she's out there now, if she's just hanging out, if she's not on board, then we can't connect.
And that makes sense.
She has to want it.
You know what? That just gave me an idea. Maybe next time I see like a bird is like, hey, what's up? Maybe I can try to connect, you know?
Right. Just say in your mind, you know, like, what's going on, dude?
Yeah, for sure.
Are you still there, Kay?
Yes, I am. I'm listening.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure you're still there.
So
I'm invisible.
I don't think they can see you on the chat on YouTube.
I don't even know how I'm still here, because I think I closed out the Zoom thing. I don't know. I was gonna do a plug for Clint's.
Yes, please
Clint
do.
Eastwood.
Yes.
Well, I can't, honey, because I don't have the picture. The picture's gone.
Niz and I can see it, but I guess on the YouTube you can't see it.
You have it on Facebook, right, Kay?
Yeah.
Okay. Niz can screen share.
Yeah.
But you go ahead, please do.
So let me log into Facebook real quick, and then I'll screen share your stuff. I just, somehow Greg is logged in and I don't know how to log him out.
I don't know. Can't help you with tech stuff.
I usually don't go on Facebook on the computer. So, oh, look at that. There's a button that says log out.
Oh, maybe that will work.
Now.
Let me see the chat and see what's
You ain't got to do that, Nez. I think Ransom's going to or I'm trying to beg him to do a mixed music thing and showcase some of his art, some of Clint's art.
Davey, yeah, I did say techno at first.
That's okay. I'll still do it because I'm getting it pulled up now. You guys want to jam out?
Like, what is that? Hi, Angel.
You guys want to jam out with me?
No, sorry. Sorry, Niz.
Then I'll stop. Why can't I find you, Kay?
I don't know. I think I'm the only one in the whole wide world.
Whatever.
Well, it's okay. You can plug it still. You can still talk about it.
Yeah. You guys can. Well, anybody who's ever seen my
Profile picture
on YouTube, that's my son's art, and he's fabulous. He does tattoos too. I'm hoping Ransom will take pity on us and do a music thing and showcase some of his artwork for him. Cause
oh wow! I just want to read something. I'm sorry, Kay. Milky said Nostradamus predicted 2018 will be the year we learn how to communicate with animals. Irony, I think not.
Oh my gosh.
It's so funny that you actually mentioned Nostradamus because I'm obsessed with him. Ever since I heard about him, and like, yeah, I'm really drawn to him big time. And then I find out he did what he did with alchemy. Oh, there we go.
Can you see that?
All right, go ahead, Kay.
Good job, Niz. Woohoo!
So Kay's son drew this, and he does tattoo work.
He's got a lot of art.
You kind of froze there for a minute.
Oh, I did? Am I still frozen?
Miss?
Yeah? Oh, no.
Okay.
No, I'm still here, but this is Walt from Gran Torino. You know when he's pointing his finger.
Gran Torino.
Yeah,
that's
Gran
a good
Torino.
movie.
Yeah. So yeah, he can do he'll do portraits for people. And he's a fabulous tattoo artist too. So anyway.
So how can they contact your son if they're interested?
He's on Facebook. It's Clint Shockley, Shockley.
Okay.
And in Hannibal, Missouri.
Very cool.
Agna, I also want a dragon too. She said, I want a dog again, or a cat, or a dragon. Yeah, dragons are cool.
I know I'm not ready to train my dragon, but I want one.
All right, well, I think that we should end this. Do you want to say your final thoughts, Kay and Niz, about what we talked today?
Yeah, did you want to talk about like the altar stuff or anything, or?
Oh, yeah.
Or you want to save that for another time or something?
How long have we been on? Let me see. We haven't been on that long. Yeah, we can talk about altars and then we can end after that.
Okay.
Or are you not feeling it anymore?
Oh, no. Well, okay. I am. I think the reason why I at least want to touch on it a little bit is because it does, it compares and it goes to show what has been done to block us. And there are some things that our mind has naturally done as a protective measure to to keep us from trauma or to protect us from certain types of trauma. And at those moments of time, when we can escape in our minds, we technically can create like an altar, because we're separating ourselves from ourselves, if that makes sense, creating something to take the place of us so that we can escape. Reality, yeah. But later on in life, those types of altars that we've naturally created, can end up hijacking us, right? They jump in and they take the place of, like, when we talked to Randall about this the other day, he said that for him it was just drug induced, that there weren't really any triggers. For a lot of other people, I would say for the majority of society, we work on triggers. So
yeah, I agree with that.
yeah.
That there's triggers that make you switch into that altar.
Yeah, because that altar steps in and it's like, oh, you called me. I'm stepping in for you. I'm taking care of this for you because that's my job.
Yeah, that's why the reason why it was created.
That's what?
That's the reason why it was created, so it can take over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. To take the place of that reality that's too traumatic for you, that you're not able to deal with at the time.
Yeah.
And I think they hold those memories, so we don't have access to them anymore.
And that's great that you say that, because how important are our memories? Our memories hold knowledge. They hold the gifts, the answers. I mean, even if it is a traumatic event, there's still answers about, why. You can learn why what happened to you happened to you. You can learn the bigger picture about this consciousness that we're stuck into, and what has created all of this for us. And we can tap into those memories, learn more about ourselves, how we are when, how we react in those kinds of situations. And those lessons that we're supposed to learn then are supposed to help us later in life. But if we don't learn those lessons because we don't remember, or we can't tap into those memories, then it makes it a hell of a lot more difficult to tap into the nature of who you truly are. And especially with child trauma, the building blocks of who we are comes from what happens to us when we're children. It affects us for the rest of our lives. The reason why I even got into teaching was because I learned that by fourth grade, if a child does not have all of the concrete, the education that is shoved down our throats, but if a child does not have a concrete understanding of that education, it determines whether or not they're going to be able to graduate high school, or if they're going to be successful in college, or if they're going to be successful in their education after that, because that's where we get our concrete, and then we go abstract and build from there.
Right? We don't even know what they liked or what they didn't like, no idea.
Yeah, and it's a huge part of who you are. Sorry, go ahead, Anna.
No, I was just thinking that kind of makes me sick that there's people on purpose that mess with human mind and psyche on purpose to do bad things with it.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes me sick that they, instead of using that knowledge or something for something productive or something positive, is used for something really negative. It shows the dark side of things big time.
I think Rex calls it NLP programming.
Yeah. Yep. And that's basically what it is.
Well, I've said before, it's kind of like it's like an invisible marker that colors your whole life. You don't. It's like a big old blank spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
what? Sorry, go ahead.
You can even. I've even gone to like my sister and asked her questions and stuff, and she's told me that some of my memories, she says I've transplanted onto, other people and stuff, and I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know.
Bright Celtic Moonlight said targeted individuals. Yeah, I think they do target certain individuals because they see a weakness or something and they can take advantage of,
Right. And this is something that I had mentioned when I sent those questions to Randall too, is if a child has gone through some kind of trauma, then once you already know how to create an altar that's induced by trauma, it's easier to create altars after that. It's like your mind is more susceptible to it because it knows how it's done. So it's like, why wouldn't those types of children or people be targeted? Because, and his was for dyslexia, you know, special education, or that, you know, like that's what he said. But I could see it going on a bigger scale, because there's so much childhood trauma these days, you know, with the pedophilia and everything. Okay, so the reason why I know so much about this, you guys, and I'm just going to come out and say this, I'm not going to give no details or anything weird, but I have had issues because of childhood sexual abuse drama. And what I had done is, and I remember the exact moment when it happened, when I created my altar, when I decided to separate myself from me. And there's a long period of time where there's a blank, where I don't remember what happened in between. And then later on in life, you know, I've always had always had an issue with sex. Okay, like connecting with myself during the act to be able to achieve all of the stuff that you do. I go to a different place and I feel so far away. And there are times where I try so hard to pull myself in, to just be like, I want to experience this, come back to me. I can't do it. And the only way that I can like achieve something that you know works is I have to imagine other people doing the act, not myself. Because, you know, it
yourself.
I completely separate myself from it. And but the great part is talking to Randall recently, me really thinking through what these altars are, remembering that I actually did create an altar. I didn't remember until I started thinking this stuff through before we were going to do that interview. And now it's like, oh, now it all makes sense. So now I know what I need to focus on to remove this blockage so that I can get to where I need to be. But like what Kay is talking about too, there are, like, that altar carried out throughout my life. There's that altar for that period of time. Either way, there's important memories and things that need to be accessed there. There's a lot of healing that needs to be done before we can even, you know, it affects our abilities. It affects our gifts.
Right.
Stuff like this does.
But I think that you and Kay, you guys have like a grip, in the sense that you are aware of it. You know that you created it. Now you know how to at least try to figure out what's the next step to get into the healing and into the remembering and into all of that comes with all of this. So I believe that it's just a matter of time once you guys do your work. Because
I've been at this for 54 years. Well,
right, that's what you were saying.
44 years, because I was 10 whenever I.
Have you tried hypnotherapy? Okay.
I've thought about it. I've done some on my own, you know, where you supposedly hypnotize yourself and stuff, but it doesn't. That hasn't helped me. I've remembered some things, but not. I don't even, maybe they may be something that I'm just imagining too. It may not even be a real memory. You know what I mean? So I don't even know if I don't know. It's crazy. I tell you, there was a time when I must have been, I don't know, 3 or 4. I know I was little, and I was, it's so weird because this little bitty girl, she was probably 3 or 4, little bitty, and she was standing on a chair at the sink, and she's washing dishes up to her elbows in suds, you know, and I'm standing, but I'm tall, I'm way taller than her. I'm looking down at her, and she's standing on a chair, but she's really tiny. And I was always small for my age, and I'm looking at her, and I know that's me. But then I know this is the real me that's standing here in front of this dish drainer looking at her. And I don't know where that comes from. I don't know if that's the altar, and maybe the altar maybe that was, she took over, because it was just
Mhm.
way too much. I don't know. It's crazy. Or maybe I just need another shot of Thorazine and a padded room somewhere.
Just a padded room.
Well,
Just around drilling myself for a while.
I will suggest for you to get in contact with Julie Pohl. I trust her 100%, and you can.
I actually have an appointment with her on Saturday because now that I'm aware of the fact that, like, of exactly what's going on, I spoke with her and she's going to help me. All she really does is just guide you through your own imagination and help work things out. So she just kind of does it with you, and she goes through with her intuition as far as telling you where she thinks your blockage may be or help guide you. So I think that it's nice to have someone who is intuitively connected to be able to, I don't know, whenever I have worked with Julie, um, amazing things happen. Like, things open up for me. My abilities end up opening
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. I agree with
So,
you.
I mean, that's a recommendation. And I can even tell you how my session went,
Yeah.
I
Privately.
mean, I'm not going to give you total
Yeah.
details, but I'll let you know if it went well or not.
Yeah, I think that you should give her Julie's Pohl contact, because I mean, I'm just suggesting. But I want to say, Nis, thank you for being brave and sharing that story, because
No doubt.
I know it's intense, talking about that. But it is part of the healing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you're in the right way.
Right. And it doesn't affect me in a way where, I'm going to start crying or
Yeah.
like, I'm at the point where I'm like, I am fucking over this and I'm sorry about that word, but, and I want to figure this out. Like, I want my life back. I want the life that I deserve. I am so over this crap.
Yeah. And you're ready to move on to better things, not to be stuck in there.
Mm-hmm. Right. And it's amazing because you would think, like, I had thought that as soon as I, like, forgave the other person, and I forgave myself and worked on my shame and all of that stuff, I thought that once I got all that stuff squared away, that was going to be enough healing. That was all that I was going to need and I would be fine. But it goes so much deeper than that. And then, with UK, I think it goes much more deeper than that.
Yeah.
Like, it's rooted in you real good.
And it's been there for years.
Yeah, I had a reading with Julie on Channel 27 when I was really super sick, y'all, and that woman was, it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. She said that my mother had had a shock when I was in the womb, and that my whole life has been like one shock right after, and it has been. Like, I draw the shock to me. I'm pulling shock into my life, and if I look back over it has been one right after another. Boom, 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 boom. It's like, holy cow. But and at the time when she was doing it, I was like, what? How am I going to even know that? Mom's been gone since, oh my gosh. Anyways, anyway, I remembered, um, my folks, my dad was he worked on the oil wells in Texas. And when mom was pregnant with me, I guess she had just become pregnant. And he was, he some lead pipes or some kind, they were filled lead, and they were fixing to roll off the back of this truck that hadn't been strapped down, and he, like a dummy, run up there to try to catch them, and they fell on him and they crushed his legs up to his the halfway up his thigh one leg and up to his knee on the other, and he was in crutches for like a year and a half. I remember this because my older brother he got in trouble, and Dad said, "I'm gonna whoop your ass," and Carlos took off running from him and said, "You can't catch me on them crutches." Well, Dad caught him and, whipped him all the way back to the house. So that was a big story, around the homestead, and I'd forgotten all about it. But can you imagine? I mean, that was back in '63 when I mean, both of his legs crushed by these. That would have been a shock to mother with me in the womb, you know. I mean,
Hell yes.
he could have died.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's when they moved to Arkansas. I think he must have gotten some kind of settlement or something from the oil well place he was working for, and he bought a dairy farm, and hence I was a dairy farmer's daughter. Can't stand milk, yuck. But yeah, that's
ironic.
For her to, how could she? There's no way she could possibly know. Heck, I didn't even remember it at the time. I'm like, I don't remember any. How am I going to know that? My mom's been gone. You know?
Yeah.
That was pretty trippy, and I haven't ever got to tell her about that. But that was pretty amazing that she pinpointed that. That would have been a big shock to my mother. I mean, she was all about my dad. You know, she was like crazy about Dad. Always was.
Wow.
Have you had like a fear of loss or anything like that throughout your life?
Abandonment.
Okay. I could see that, actually.
Wow. That's
awesome. Right? Because even though you were in the womb, you're the child, you almost lost your dad, your mom freaked out about it, you had to have picked up on the energy and knew what was going on.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
You know, like what I had said in my other video, like after I lost my dad, no matter what, even though no matter the circumstances, your inner child is always going to get that sense of abandonment because of it.
Wow.
That's deep.
Yeah, it is. Wow. I never even thought about that. But that was pretty true. I mean, that woman has some gifts that she's, you know, and really? I think the same thing with this intuition. I think everybody has it.
Yes. Oh, everybody. I'll be back.
And they have to. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the better you get at it. The stronger it gets. You know, like that.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think everybody's got intuition. I really do.
Yeah, I absolutely believe that's an ability that we were born with. It's just an ability that our society doesn't work the muscle for it.
Right.
So it just kind of goes dormant.
They probably don't have it.
But it's amazing how some people do have it and they know how to use it to play their game of chess, and not for good reasons.
Yeah.
Bad intentions.
And it's like, why do people like that have those kinds of powers? But then the really good people are trying to work on tapping into those powers. You know?
They have those powers because we give them to them. We give our power away.
Like we were talking about it earlier.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think my pets were at the door. I think I need to go out. But I do want to thank Kay for coming and talking to us and sharing some of your experiences. And also I want to thank you, Niz, like I said, for it takes a brave person to come out and say things that happen in childhood. So thank you for sharing. I'm proud of you for being able to take that next step to the next level. So only good things will come after that. I'm pretty sure about that. So thank you. Do you guys want to say anything in closing?
I'm just grateful to have been here. This was a blast, you guys. Really. Even though it's like, you know, nerve-wracking and a lot of anxiety.
It turned out better than you thought, though, didn't it?
Yeah, it turned out, yeah. Because of you guys, you know, I feel more at home because of you guys.
Yeah, we're pretty easy to talk to, I think.
Yes, you are.
I think so too. I tend to think so. I will end it. What?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just going to say, I think that it is time. It is time for us to. It's that time. No, to face all the crap that we've been ignoring, putting to the wayside, getting like procrastinating about. It's time to just say, fuck it and face it. And I will end it with what would you guys do if I laughed like this? I did this to Anna and Kay earlier. Okay. So when I laughed, or if I laughed, what if I laughed like this? And that's the end. And I'd be like, I'm dying, guys. I'm dying laughing inside.
That's funny. You're so silly.
Oh
and it
my
looks like you're like when you stop, it looks like you're frozen.
Oh, that's good. That means I'm doing good.
Congratulations.
Okay.
All right, everyone. You guys have a good night and stay positive, my friends. Let's not let negative affect you, or don't send negative out. So thank you so much, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye. Bye, everyone in the chat. Thanks for being here. Sorry. Thanks for being everybody here and listening to us. We truly appreciate it. It means a lot. Bye.